So I put the call out, Q&As for Mike Rasso. Maybe a quarter of them or a third of them were about cine film. What should people know about shooting cine film versus
Well,
stills?
the first go-to for cine film in the in 2020 and in the last forever has been Super 8. Your classic Super 8 camera, introduced in 1965. It essentially took the place of regular 8 millimeter. It's a cartridge system developed by
Wait
Kodak.
a sec, sorry. And because I know that this has confused me in the past, regular 8, double 8, Super 8. Discuss.
Oh, okay. Well, Super 8 is a cartridge format. So for folks watching, Kodak is the king of cartridge. 126 cartridge, 110 cartridge, Super 8 cartridge, a film format that, quite frankly, I didn't even know was still around. Is regular 8 millimeter. So when you say regular 8 to me, people think of their grandparents. In my case, I think of my dad, who shot regular 8 up until a certain point, and then their photo dealer would kind of convince them, give them the pitch to get new gear.
Mm-hmm.
Regular 8 is very different than Super 8. It's a manual format for the most part. So you have real lenses with real f-stops and a set shutter speed. So it's sort of a wonderful format to learn on, because just like a 35 millimeter SLR camera that has no light meter, you're forced to learn how to use the format.
Mm.
You are forced to figure out what your f-stop is, what you have a set shutter speed, and the film does not come in a cartridge. The film comes on a little roll. It is a roll of regular 8 film, and it's been kind of difficult to explain because Super 8 is in a cartridge and the film is 8 millimeter. It's 8 millimeter film in a cartridge. This is 16 millimeter. So it's 16 millimeter film. And the reason it's called double 8 is because you shoot both sides of it. It's really the most amazing thing. So in your camera, and here's the classic insides of a camera. Can you see that?
Yeah, perfect.
So your camera roll would go here, and you would shoot 25 feet of it. And then when you're done shooting it, you would take the take-up spool that was now filled up with film, flip it over, and now shoot the second side.
So when you say the sides, it's not the reverse. It's like two strips of 8 next to each other. So you shoot down one side, up the other.
Correct. And two strips of 8 next to each other is 16 millimeter.
Got it. So yeah.
So it is 16 millimeter film, but it's not. Because, a common question is, can I just use 16 millimeter film? And you cannot, because the film is perforated differently. So it's sort of the most uncomplicated format, but at the same time complicated if you just look at it. You're like, I don't understand.
No. We had this chat in January where I was selling the damn things, and it was like, why is there 16 mil double perf and regular 8 that is 16 mil and has doubly perforated?
So this is the spool that comes with the camera, and there's a warning on it that says, film when on this spool is only half exposed. So when you're done shooting side 1, your camera spool that stays in your camera is filled, which means you need to take it, flip it, shoot the other side. So now your original roll of film is filled up again, and your camera spool stays in your camera empty. I know. This seems, oh my God, this is so complicated. Can't I just pop in a cartridge of Super 8? Yes, you can. That's called Super 8.
Whoa.
Off you.
Whoa.
But this is such a different animal. And there are so many amazing
Look at that.
cameras. And majority of them, like this Yashica, they wind up. So you don't need any batteries. And almost all of the cameras you buy on eBay or at a thrift sale, if it was made in 1939, it's still going to work.
Okay.
So it's really a mind-blowing format. And what happens is, because people may say, well, why is it called regular 8? So traditionally, back in the day when it was popular, all film was positive film for projection.
Mm-hmm.
So when the 16 millimeter Perf for 8 was finished being developed, the lab would slit it down the middle, splice two pieces together so that you wind up with 50 feet of 8 millimeter film. Are you following that?
Yeah, got it. Yep.
Well, these days, because the FPP sells positive, well, we just started selling positive. We have positive black and white, and now we have positive Ektachrome. So that film that is for a projector gets slit and then put on a reel. But if a film is a negative film that's never going to be projected, it stays in its 16 millimeter configuration for scanning.
Got it.
I hope I'm not like.
No.
Just tune out.
No. I think because that, if I'd heard that explanation in November, it would have saved me quite a lot of time. Sat there trying to put things on the website and understand, just in that sort of point. No. That's super clear. So then, the final bit then. So 16 mil comes in double perf and single perf. What's the difference? Which one was earliest?
Okay. Now we're talking about 16 millimeter format.
Mm-hmm.
So 16 millimeter film is talking about, like, here is a 1949 Keystone. It's same thing. It's a wind up 16 millimeter camera. You can buy them on eBay. They work great. And depending on what model you have, most of these need double perforated 16 millimeter film, meaning it's perfed on both sides.
Yep.
Modern films sold today are single perfed. If you have an old camera that has that only takes double perf, you have to get double perf film. And as you may know, it's almost impossible to find.
Yeah. No.
Double perf. It's an old timey format, and no one cares. It doesn't get any love.
Yeah.
But we love it.
No. It's brilliant, and it's good to, as always, it's good to have the options, and it's good that those cameras can still exist. Okay, that is an incredible run through of, I know what is quite a complex topic, and we have several people in the comments I noticed. Let's have a look. So Cheryl Lee's saying, now FPP has me wanting to dabble into regular 8. Yes. There we go. Cheryl Lee's, I think, a student trying to get through the studies, and we're giving more distractions, which is fantastic. Somebody called Oko Maestro said, just got some regular 8 back from the FPP, and the scans are awesome. So
oh, that's great.
That's brilliant. Okay, then we'll move on probably from movie film, unless anyone has any really urgent questions that they want to jump in on.